speaking of getting it right, I know you heard the comments of Dan Morgan saying that he thinks that we have the quarterback and the coach to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Are you able to put a number on that? Like throw a number at the
Years?
wall? Yeah.
What do you mean? Could you elaborate a little bit?
Like how many years are you expecting?
So first and foremost, do I agree? Because I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I know you had said you had told me you agree at least, so I guess publicly you can say you agree.
Yes.
So, are you asking years to win a Super Bowl, or how many Super Bowls they will win together?
Well, let's go slow.
Let's go slow. Let's go. Because it's been 30+ years, and we don't.
So,
but for context purposes.
Yeah. So
good question.
Years to win a Super Bowl.
Okay. Perfect.
Because, at a certain point,
shit got to get moving.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you. Shit got to get moving. Everybody is abundantly clear on my stance, and if you're new here, let me just go ahead and say it again. The Panthers will win 10 or more games this year. That's number one. Number two, Week 18 is going to be for an NFC South championship. Now, if we win, lose, draw, whatever the case may be, then the chips will just fall how they may at that point. Fuck it. But we will make the playoffs. We're making the playoffs this year. That's a guarantee. Willing to bet my life on that. We're making the playoffs this year. We're going to win 10 or more games. Week 18 will be for a divisional title. So we're already on the right track. Now, that being said, years for Super Bowl. First and foremost, 100% agree with Dan Morgan in the fact that Dave Canales is a guy that can win the Super Bowl, has the potential to do so. I think he's made that clear. There were some questionable things going on during games last year, whatever the case may be, but he was a rookie head coach. And I will say this, the feeling that I get with Dave Canales after year one is a lot different than the feeling that I got with Matt Rule after year one. And Matt Rule had head coaching experience, albeit at the college level. So I agree with that. And I think just based on the last 10 games that we saw Bryce, based on the amount of confidence I see him maneuvering and moving around with now during this offseason, yes, I believe that he has what it takes to be a Super Bowl contending quarterback as well. All of that being said, if we're talking about a timeline, I'm going to say 4 to 5 years. 4 to 5 years max.
Are you giving is this technically going to be their first year?
Yes.
Just because
last year the window wasn't open last year.
Yeah, I agree with
that. We had too many foundational things out of whack. And we didn't know what this offensive line was going to look like. Worst defense in NFL history. So foundationally it was all fucked up. This year, officially year 3 of Bryce, year 2 of Dave, and his offense, coupled with the defense and the way you've revamped the defensive line, yes, this is year 1 of the Super Bowl window. And it's very dangerous because you got to maneuver and you got to get the shit done quick. And if you think that you don't have to get it done quick and you have more time than what I'm saying, I would just refer you to the San Francisco 49ers. I would just refer their window was what, 4-5 years? Would y'all agree, or am I off in that?
Yeah,
just about.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years because Brock. This is year 3 of Brock.
No, this is year
4 of Brock. So whenever Brock took over that bitch, that's when that window was open.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna say officially, in my opinion, their window is closed.
Even prior to Brock taking
over,
I was about to say. They made the Super Bowl with Garoppolo.
Because they lost against Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
True. So what was that, 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, they had a fat little window, and then Brock extended it.
Cool. So I will say their window lasted 5, maybe 6 years max. Would y'all agree? Am I off in that? Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah, I'd say you're right.
Okay,
but
cool.
I think it's different for Carolina. I'm going to push back a little bit. I'm going to say the window's a little shorter.
I'm willing to hear it.
I'm going to say it's 3 to 4 years. If you're not because and I say that because if we're expecting to see major improvements this year.
Yes.
You and I both expect them to be able to. I think that they could compete for a chip this year. It's not me saying I think they'll win a chip this year.
Okay.
But I think they will have the ability and talent and discipline to compete for a championship this year. Once you get in, you just need a chance. And I think the Panthers have that shot this year because they will be much improved. If we're going off of how Terrence thinks that they're going to be improved this year. We're all in agreement that they'll be improved, but Terrence thinks it'll be next year when they make that jump. We've just pushed the jump up a little bit higher.
Because they're still young. A lot of the foundational pieces are still young.
Right. which is, I push back on that by saying a lot of the Eagles' foundational pieces last year were very young, and they did have experience.
They had some vets around them,
did.
though.
We do too, though, I would argue.
The Panthers, exactly.
DB, heading the defense.
Thielen.
JC. I mean, we love swearing that JC is young, but this is what, year 6 for him? Year 5, year 6?
Yeah.
Right? So at this point, he's a vet. And then on the offensive side of the ball, you have your offensive line. Those are all vets at this point, even if you want to take Ikem out. And then you have Thielen. So, you know.
But go ahead.
Yeah. But so next year is when we're all in agreement that the Super Bowl window is fully open. And then I give you another, you go again. If you don't win it next year, then you have another year to compete for it again. And you're going to have to improve. So if we're going to think that they're going to keep improving, once you've hit that, like, you're going to hit your head on a ceiling at some point if you don't bust through and get to that Super Bowl. And if you've ran into this issue for 3 consecutive years where you haven't been able to get into a Super Bowl, then you're going to have to start having the conversation about retooling at certain positions and starting to switch things up. And that's when you could lose the momentum, because now you're going to have to go back through, and JC will be at like year 8 at this point. DB will be at year like 9, 10 at this point. Like, these guys are going to be a lot older at the end of this Super Bowl window. Some of these guys, Bryce will still probably be in his prime. He'll be, he's a quarterback, so it'll be a little bit longer. XL will be a lot older. Tet will probably be in his prime still, but like, you're gonna have to start.
Chuba will be done.
Chuba will be
at that time.
Chuba will probably be gone.
Rico is gone after this season.
Gone. Yeah, so
Jonathan Brooks TBD still. So
Taylor
that
Moton
offense looks completely different.
Taylor Moton might be retired at this point in time,
or moved, because we don't even know if Taylor Moton will be a Panther after this season.
Right. So things start to switch a little bit. So I'm saying the window's even shorter. Like, as long as it's been to get to this point to even have a shot at opening the window. Once that window is open, you have to go. You don't have time to fuck around. You don't have time to dick around. You have to capitalize on that, or things start switching. And as much credit as we just gave Tepper, if he's not starting to see results, he might get itchy and revert back to his ways and start trying to fire people. So
Facts.
I'm giving it a 3 to 4 year window.
Okay. The window is open this year.
The window's open this year.
So the window right now is not open for you. Officially, it's not open this year.
No, not for me at least.
Okay.
Because I don't think we're making the playoffs. One, and for the new listeners, how JJ went on his little spiel about making the playoffs, putting his life on it, all of that. I have a different approach. If you're not familiar with older videos, I have a different approach. I think that we'll be a much better team, or a more improved team than last year. But like I said earlier, I still think that we're very young, not a lot of experience in the places that I think are going to be vital for us, particularly on the edge. I think our secondary is still dog shit. So little reasons like that, linebackers, TBD on them. Trevin Wallace, you know how we feel about him. So I think that there's,
and you're new, mediocre.
Yeah, very mid.
And that's us being nice.
Yeah, and so. Yeah, I think that we have a lot of holes that's still open, and that, just kind of plug and play. Like, we're about to have 2 rookies coming in that we expect, well, at least I'll speak for myself, that I think can potentially have the chance of having starting jobs by the time the season is over, or even midway through the season. So there's still a lot of young talent around us and not a lot of experience. So I think we're going to win about 7 ball games. I might go up to 8 a little bit, just depending on, what training camp is looking like and things like that. But I just don't think we're going to be making the playoffs. So I say all that to say the window isn't open this year for me, but next year for sure.
Fair enough. And to be honest, I definitely respect where you're coming from in that regard, because even though we have this conversation, and even though me and Tavian have been extremely vocal, about the window being open and us feeling like this is the year where you kind of start kicking this little runoff, whatever the case may be, there are still some things left to be desired, specifically in that secondary room. Like we were having a conversation, myself as well as a couple of other content creators in this space, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to go all the way back throughout that group chat, but just know it gets very, very nasty outside of Mike Jackson. Shaw, cool. But then after that, bro, it gets nasty, bro. Like I'm not gonna hold you, even though again, me and Tavian have said what we said, and I've been a little bit more rambunctious. Is that the correct word? Is that the right adjective to use?
I don't think so. Not in this context.
I think it is.
In the context that you're about to use it in, I don't
think it
believe
is.
So.
Rambunctious.
It's more like
yes, uncontrollably exuberant. Yes,
Okay.
Boisterous.
Boisterous. Yeah.
Boisterous. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. All of that. I don't even know. I done lost my train of
The
thought.
cornerback room is ass.
Yeah. Long story short, that's what I was going to look up. Let's just go look at the Carolina Panthers depth chart right now. And I'm going to one side of the ball, and that's it.
And while you're doing that, I think the difference in our Super Bowl windows right now is kind of hanging on the fact that we think that they're going to be in the playoffs this year. And I'm under the belief that if you're in the playoffs, you have a shot to win the Super Bowl. And you don't think that they're making the playoffs this year, so your window's pushed back a little bit. That's like the biggest
That's a significant difference, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would also ask you, both of y'all, if they only win 7 games this year, is that considered a failure in your mind?
Yes. In my mind, it is.
Being all of the things that I laid out, looking at it holistically.
In my mind, it is because I think this offense is better than 7 wins.
Yes, I'm going to say it's a failure to me as well. And I know that you can't take shit year to year. And I know I've done that continuously on this podcast since we've been back for season 5. You can't take things year to year, but at the same time, it's very, very difficult for me not to. I believe that I can find 7 or 8 ball games that the Carolina Panthers should have won last year. Outside of the 5 they won, I believe I can find 2 to 3 more that they should have won. There's no way with all of the adjustments that you made this year, with all of the bodies that you return, there's no way that you can't win 2 more ball games than what you did last year. I just don't see it being realistic. And to be honest, your schedule is not that difficult, bro.
No.
Like you have like a top 5 or top 6 easiest schedule.
And they showed their hand. The Panthers showed their hand last season when they competed with the Chiefs and the Eagles the way that they did.
Yes.
Those were 2 of the best teams in the league, and you should have beat both of them.
Yes.
They showed their hand. So there's no more like this whole like letting them figure it out, get it. No, y'all got it.
It's over with.
You
yeah,
know,
it's over
you
with.
know what to do. You've seen it. You've got it up close and personal, and you should have been able to finish. Now you learn from that and you improve on that. Because if you're not improving on that, then you're not the right people for the job.
Agreed. Taking a look at this secondary because it's nasty. It's one injury away. It's one injury away from niggas getting cock put in them. Nothing short,
if
nothing
that's
less.
the case, then I don't understand
The
why.
niggas just got to stay healthy.
I don't. Yeah, but we
Stay
know
healthy and
you,
pray.
You
we
know
get some
how
motion during the summer.
You know how unlikely that is, though. That's why I don't understand how you can say that, like, confidently say, you know, the Super Bowl window is open this year and things of that sort. When you're basing all of that on everybody staying healthy, that shit barely ever happens within a football season.
I agree.
It's just
that's a valid point. What I'm
and
basing
God forbid that injury comes from somebody like a J.C. Horn. God forbid. I mean, we might be able to. No, the fuck he doesn't. We might be able to stomach it if Mike gets hurt. We might be able to stomach it. But if J.C. gets hurt, Trayvon Merrick,
I don't think we can.
If he gets hurt,
I don't think we can stomach.
It's over.
I don't think we can stomach either one of them getting hurt. Right now, as this roster stands and this depth chart stands right now, I don't think we can stomach either one of them. I'm going based off the assumption that we're going to make additions. You're forgetting that Mike Jackson came in and was a starter for 14-plus ball games, and then nigga got to us after training camp concluded for a fucking 7th-round pick. So, yeah, that's why I'm going off of that assumption, because I still think that we're going to be active.
And Ramsey's still out there.
And Ramsey is still out there, and I'm still holding out hope. Now, I did see Carolina Blitz Vashta said this past week, y'all can give the Ramsey talk a break. So I don't know if she knows something that we don't, because that tweet did come out, and it's still up. So, it wasn't a tweet and delete. So I'm assuming that she has a little bit more information than we do in that regard. But Julian is still out there. And I haven't heard anybody kill that. Now, have the rumors and whispers died down significantly? Absolutely, because he came and visited Nothing was signed. We let them walk out the door. That being said, we know how some of these veteran niggas be as it pertains to summer activities. And a lot of them don't be trying to do it. Yeah. A lot of them don't be trying to do it. And he's one of those ones that's nice enough where, nigga, if you want to fuck off during the summer and you don't want to sign your contract until a little bit later on in July, August, I'm fine with it. Me personally. But outside of Mike and JC, we just got to pray it doesn't happen. Shamar Bartholomew. Shamar Bartholomew and a Caleb Evans. Lord have mercy. Yeah, hey, Mike.
And y'all still don't want to change y'all number.
No,
and nobody wants to change. Okay,
absolutely
cool.
not.
Cool.
We just paid JC.
That's nasty. That is nasty, bro.
I'm really like my confidence though is not. I promise you, it's not coming from this defense.
It's not
because I think EJ is a fucking.
Go slow, go slow, nigga. Go slow.
My thoughts on Ejiro Evero are very, very detailed and laid out in previous videos. If you want to know my stance on that, I don't like him. I think he should have been fucking fired last year. He's not a good coach. My confidence isn't coming from...
Stop saying that.
He's not a good coach. My confidence isn't coming from the defensive side of the ball. My confidence wholeheartedly is coming from the inspiration behind our beautiful Reaper t-shirts. And that's Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I think Bryce Young is one of them ones. And I think if the offense does what it has the potential to do, which is control and dictate the pace of these games, I feel like you can supplement having a subpar defense with a dominant ball controlling offense.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but
wholeheartedly. Because if you run the ball 25 to 30 times a game, it ain't gonna be a lot of time where your defense is on the field.
You shorten that.
And with Chuba Hubbard and Rico, you damn near shouldn't be rushing the ball no less than 25 times a game.
I'm still under the belief that defense wins championships, a la what the Eagles did to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So I just don't think that, and it's hard for me to sit here and like visualize teams that make deep runs in the playoffs that doesn't have a good defense. Washington. At least way better than the fucking Panthers.
Washington.
Their defense is better than ours.
Their cornerbacks aren't.
I was about to say their cornerbacks were dog shit last
year.
year.
They had to trade for Marshawn Lattimore halfway through the season, and he didn't even play.
He didn't play, and when he did play, he got cock in him.
Yeah, and their first-round pick from a couple years ago, they let him walk.
Yeah.
Their
secondary is not that much better than
their
ours.
number one cornerback last year was Noah Igbignogany. And Noah Igbignogany is somebody that the Cowboys had traded for with Dan Quinn was the DC for like a 6th or 7th round pick and couldn't get no burnout there. And then went to DC and became their number one and was okay for a couple weeks and then started getting cock put in him when people realized that he was sweet.
Yeah.
I would just have to go look up the statistics on their defense. It
was mediocre.
I just don't think
their defense was not that good.
Yeah, their defense was mediocre. Like, it really was. Their defense was like middle of the pack.
They had a very fucking light schedule. Like, that's what people like. Washington had a very light schedule last year.
And then and then when it was time, like Tavian said, the only thing you need is a chance to dance. And it was time to dance. Them niggas got blessed against Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. They walked in Detroit and let they cock drag.
Against a beat-up Detroit team who had no...
Yes.
Now, you want to talk about injuries, who had nobody left on that team.
And put up, how many? They put up 40 plus on them niggas.
Something ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, bro. I'm just not gonna jump out the window and say that just because we're one injury away, secondary wise,
nasty.
Secondary wise,
you forget our linebackers are ass. Trevor Wallace is ass. The only person that you have there is Josie Jewell.
We don't know what Rose Booth is gonna be. Rosenboom, Christian Rosenboom. We don't know what he's gonna be. We don't know what he's going to be. Did they celebrate when he got clipped? Yes. Did that give me cause for pause, and does it still do the same thing? Absolutely. Absolutely. But we don't know.
We're shitting on Trevin, but he's going into year 2. Like
and Dan Morgan sucks his dick. So I'm not going to lie, bro. Like, Dan can't keep giving him head and me just keep like slandering his name. He must see something. It must be something.
What did you see?
Can he develop though? Can we give him time to develop? He's coming from he's coming out. He came from Kentucky, right?
Yeah, I mean that's
Kentucky. Kentucky's not a program that's been known to pump out excellent players. Like let's let the coaches that are on this staff continue to put their hands around him, and let's see some improvement. He's got the physical traits. Like, he has all the tools in the toolbox. Trevor Wallace physically is a specimen.
I would feel better if he was developing and it was more so of a plug and play, or you're in here and there, like subbing in and out here and there.
You know how you can make that happen?
But as the main,
you know how you can make that situation happen? Go get Shaq back.
Give it a break, bro.
Oh, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what the people say, what the comments say. That's just what I'm just telling you what the comments say.
And like I told them, the nigga has no value for us.
Well, and Shaq is one of those older players that can be signed closer to training camp, and it'll be just
or
fine.
even after training camp.
Whatever you want to do.
Your body has broken down the last 2 or 3 years in a row significantly. You don't even have to be at training camp. For me, if you're Shaq Thompson, you don't even have to fucking be there. Only thing I need to make sure you're doing is staying in shape, condition-wise. And if you need to feel a couple of bumps, you know what I'm saying, you need to feel a couple of wrap-ups and thuds, then cool, nigga. You can come out for 2 or 3 days during training camp, and we'll put you on the injury report for the rest of the time, right? You're still recovering from your surgery. That's no issue, no problem at all. No issue, no problem at all, nigga.
Yeah, for a vet minimum contract, I wouldn't mind bringing Shaq back.
You give that nigga fucking $2.3 million for 1 year, and everything will be A-okay. So then Trevin King, like you said, come in, come out, do whatever needs to happen. And again, I'm not going to just, I slander his name when we first signed him, but I'm going to see what Rose Moon does first. And Josie had a very, very productive year last year. He did.
Yes, so, I that doesn't make me feel very comfortable.
Well, do you feel comfortable about the fucking D-line, yes or no?
Yes, I feel comfortable about them. But
and nigga, they're about to slide.
I hope
they're about to slide.
I hope
they're about to slide. I'm telling you, something that I know.
Okay,
something that I know. We just need DJ healthy, not 52.
My thing is, I'm usually right. I'm usually right in most of these situations when the end of the season comes. So we'll see. I don't want to be right.
I'm gonna tell you this: the Carolina Panthers make the playoffs and potentially win a playoff game if they have a top 20 defense or better. That's all it's gonna take. That's all it's gonna take, because I'm almost under the belief that we might be hanging fucking 30 plus on niggas' heads week in and week out. I'm almost willing to go on record and say that, but I'm gonna go slow because it's June.
Yeah, because that would mean you're like the number one offense in the league. That's kind of fucking.
Well, I just need to go slow. I need to slow down.
Yeah, especially when you got a fucking question mark on the outside.
Let's start at top 10.
Who the fuck is a question mark?
XO.
If the motherfucker, if he can't get it done, bitch, move around. Move around and put Jimmy, put Adam, put Hunter, Jalen. Nigga, I'm telling you.
Go slow.
All right. Okay. Go slow.
The Panthers will have a top 10 offense. Top 20.
Okay. Top 10 top 10 offense, top 20 defense.
5.
That gets you playoff. No, not top 25. I don't understand. Matter of fact, let me not even let y'all get me
You already said 15, right? Didn't you say that?
He
Ain't
got
that the bet
top
you
15.
made? So why
yeah.
you going back to fucking 20? You shouldn't even be starting at 20.
Because top 20 just gets us where. Top 15, we might win the whole bitch. Top 15, we might win the whole bitch, bro. You not understand. See, you not, and see, this is what I need our supporters that watch this show week in and week out to understand. This nigga is a little pessimistic sometimes. He's a little pessimistic.
More times than not, does it turn out to be right?
More times than right, yeah. More times than not, yeah. But nigga, that's not what we trying to hear this year. We not. This is not years past, nigga. This is not years past. We on different timing and energy this year. It's different. It hit different. I'm telling you.
Like I said, it will make my life a lot better. It will make the pod a lot better. It will make the fans feel a lot better if all of the shit you saying comes to fruition and it happens. But I'm just here to let you know, slow down.
Okay.
Go a little slow.
All right, I'm going slow, bro. Because if I wasn't,
there's a very high chance that shit just doesn't happen.
Okay, but let me tell you this, nigga. If I wasn't going slow, then I would come in this bitch every week and say that we're gonna win 12 or more games.
You want to say that anyway.
No, you're right, but I've been extremely responsible with my platform and with what we've built to not do that. But you're absolutely right. I do want to say that we're gonna win 12 of them bitches this year. I do. Because them games that I'm counting as losses, the Cowboys, the Bills, this and that, etc. Yeah, nigga, unfortunately, them niggas can get left on a fucking T-shirt too.
Go slow.
No, nigga, fuck what he talking about. Fuck what he talking about. If this nigga just said the Chiefs and the Eagles should have been clipped last year, and they both made it to the Super Bowl, I'm supposed to just say, oh, a weaker team is just gonna come in here and fuck us in the ass? That's what I'm just supposed to. Man, hell no, nigga. We might win 17 of them bitches, but then that's when I'm gonna really go slow. Yeah, that's good. Sure.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had to mute him. I had to cut his mic off because shit was just getting a little bit out of control over here on set.
Sure, cool. I'm just telling y'all something that I just feel, nigga, because when we start that bitch off 3-0, 4-0, and I'm going to tell you this, too. If we started off 3-0 or 4-0, don't get on the bandwagon, nigga. You said 7 games, so cool. Stand on that. So we win 4 in the first fucking month. This nigga is telling y'all that we're only going to win 3 for the remainder of the whole fucking 2, 3, 4 months left in the season.
Now, that would be a disappointment.
Well, you didn't think that we were only going to win 2. You didn't think we were only going to win 2 games last year. I think you had us at 11. I mean, 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was just misplaced.
He had y'all at 10.
That was misplaced. Yeah,
he's
2
had
years
y'all at
ago.
10 wins for like the last 4.
No, nigga. 2 years. Last 2 years. Last 2 years. That was misplaced.
I remember making bets with you at Copper about them winning 10 games.
Yeah, that 10 games has been extremely elusive. Extremely elusive. But yeah. I didn't even mean for us to go all the way there, but cool. I'm glad we did.